All right, so if you clicked onto this video, then I know that you are feeling very, very, very stuck in your life. You're probably burnt out. Maybe you feel kind of sluggish and don't really know what's going on in your life. And the thing is that you have all of these big aspirations and these big dreams and goals for yourself. You want to retire your parents, you want to take them out for Umrah, you want to buy yourself a nice fancy car, a nice watch. Although you have these big aspirations and dreams, you have no idea how to accomplish them. Or better, say you do know how to accomplish these things, but you haven't gotten any results yet or moved the needle forward towards any progress. Now, inshallah, you do achieve those things with the permission of Allah, but what you have to understand is that you have to tie your camel first. And you can start now by watching this video all the way until the end. By the end of this video, you're not just going to learn how to reclaim your life back, but you're also going to learn how to ensure that you don't fall back into those bad habits. Now, real quick, let me be the first one to tell you exactly where you're stuck right now, because most people think that they lack the energy or the time or the knowledge, and that is why they fail to secure real results in their life. But that is wrong. My brother, what you're lacking is focus. When you can focus for a singular task for hours on end, you really start to enjoy it. And second, when you respect the creation of time and you give it your full focus, the quality of your work increases. So now the question is, how do you cultivate focus? And this is where the art of focusing is really, really important. Right now, with how small your attention span is, it is only natural to think that you need to add more and more and more and more just to get yourself to focus. An example of this is before you sit down to do your work, you're scrolling social media already plugged in trying to find motivation. And then you go ahead and you make your perfect little fancy coffee. And then you're trying your best to set the perfect ambiance in the room. You know, you want to dim down the lights, you want to get your perfect curated playlist. So then when the time finally comes after a whole hour of nonsense and you finally focus up to do the work, you simply can't focus because you're already in a highly stimulated state. Or another example is when the time of prayer is called and you stand up to pray. Can you focus? Or are you thinking about the things that you need to accomplish after the prayer, even before the prayer is completed? And trust me, I know that it's exhausting running around life feeling like you can't catch any results. And if that is you, then you should take that as a sign that you need to start a dopamine detox. When I first began my journey with online business, there was a period of time where I really had to zone in and focus on building the foundations of my personal brand. Another example is when I was 16, memorizing the Quran in New York City alone in a boarding school. I had to learn to clear my mind and not think about any distractions. By the way, I went when I was 12 years old, graduated when I was 16, but I went when I was 12. At the young age of 12, I had to learn to clear my mind away from distractions and focus on the task at hand. And even now, many of you struggle to focus on daily tasks or even your prayers because your attention span is smaller than a bug. So like I said, if you have these dreams and aspirations for yourself and you want to operate at a high level, but you haven't brought yourself closer to those goals yet, you need to master the art of focus. So in today's video, I'll be giving you guys 3 things in order for you to maximize the results in this current season of your life. Number 1 is going to be an exercise for you to reset the foundation of your life and for you to rewire your brain. Number 2 is going to be a 10-day dopamine detox framework that by the end of it, you should experience a significantly higher quality of life and your overall attitude should be improved. And number 3 is the exact protocol that I use to laser in any season of life that requires deep work for me, which I call Unlocking 720. Now, without these 3 things, I would not be where I am today. I simply do these things whenever I feel like I'm reaching burnout or I have low levels of discipline and I need something to revamp my system. And this is what worked for me for the past 8 years of my life. From the ages of 16 to 24, I've developed the system because I realized this is what I naturally kept coming back to in those moments of distraction or burnout. So, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, let's jump right into it. So we'll be going over the first thing, which is how to reset your foundation. Now, it's really important that you guys write this down because in all honesty, this acts as a very good anchor whenever I'm feeling overwhelmed or I'm feeling confused about life or I just need some clarity. This is the exercise that I do outside of the other 2. Now, like I said earlier in this video, you're probably someone who has really big aspirations, really big goals, and you're very clear on where you want to get to, right? I want you to sit down with yourself and ask yourself, what are the skills that I need in order for me to achieve this goal? Maybe I need to learn time management. Maybe I need to stop watching Netflix. Whatever the skills are that you need in your life to achieve that goal, write those down. Next is why do I want to achieve this goal in the first place? Is it for becoming famous? Is it for gaining a lot of money? Is it for, gaining the respect of my peers and for the people in my society? Get clear on exactly the skills that you need and why do you want to achieve that goal in the first place. Now, after you've done those two, I want you to write down the third thing, which is writing down your commitment to creating a better life for yourself. I don't know if you guys can tell, but what I'm doing with you over here is I'm kind of clearing out all of the brain fog and clearing out all of the uncertainty that you may or may not have in your life and kind of resurfacing clarity and introducing that into your life so you can kind of have an understanding of the skills that you need to learn, why you want to achieve that in the first place, and also writing down your commitment. So this can be something along the lines of, okay, for the next 120 days, I commit to waking up for Fajr every single day or memorizing a surah every single month, whatever it may be, write all of that down. But I highly recommend in your commitment, you write down the skills and why you want to achieve that goal in the first place. For example, if you want to start a personal brand and start a YouTube channel, you can write down for the next 365 days, I commit to learning the art of scripting and editing. And the reason why I want to achieve this goal in the first place is because I want to hit 100,000 subscribers. Something as simple as that, but you're gaining a lot of clarity on where you want to go. Now, during New Year's time, everyone loves to talk about their goals and they love to talk about their New Year's resolutions. They want to lose weight, they want to make more money, they want to get rid of these bad habits. And that's great for you to list all of the goals that you write down. That's very, very good. But what's even better and something that's often overlooked is your distractions. No one writes down their distractions because yes, you have these goals and all of these things that you want to achieve. And I can pretty much guarantee you, amongst focus being your issue as to why you haven't reached any of your goals yet, right next to focus is you're just being distracted. The reason why you can't focus is because you're being distracted. So the next thing that I want you to write down is all of the potential distractions that are standing in your way for you to get to that goal. This can be you're watching 4 Netflix shows and you need to cut it back to 1 or cut out Netflix completely. For me personally, I have my desk right next to my sofa. I will waste like 3 hours because either I'll start watching Netflix, I'll fall asleep, or I'll start doom scrolling on social media. And those are the things that you don't want to do. So write down all of your distractions and make that list of potential things that can take you away from your goal. Now, after you've gotten clear on the skills that you need in order to achieve your goal, and you've gotten clear as to why you want to achieve that goal in the first place. And then below that, you've written a commitment to yourself of creating a better life for yourself. And then you've written down all of the distractions of what can potentially be standing in the way of you getting there. The only thing left to do now is to disappear. Not from life, of course, but from those distractions. You guys have to understand that you're going to have to go through a period of life, a season, a winter arc, whatever, a new chapter, whatever you want to call it. But there's going to be non-negotiables in your life, and those non-negotiables should be, I am not going to indulge in any of these distractions until I have completed my task. Because we live in a society nowadays where getting distracted and getting sidetracked with projects is extremely easy. But in this video, I'm giving you the tools to break that cycle of you feeling like crap and actually move along with your life. Because I want to see you win at the end of the day, and I just want to see everyone doing the things that they love and doing the things that bring them fulfillment in their life. In our deen, we are encouraged to strive for excellence, and in all honesty, I want nothing more for you. In life, you want to fill your time with learning, with building, with experiencing as much as possible. Learning what? Learning good information from YouTube channels, from courses that you buy, from information that you have from university, whatever it may be, listening to lectures, learning good information. And then building. Building what? Building your business, building a channel, building your physique. Men are just significantly more happy when we're building, right? But learning is a precursor to building because you can't build without the correct knowledge. And those two things is an experience of itself. So you want to focus as much on experiencing as well. Push yourself outside of your comfort zone and go experience things in life. Stop going to the same 1 or 2 places that you've been going to for the past months. This is obviously a topic for another video, but if you want to increase your social status or your network, you have to be putting yourself in different situations. All right, so now let's move on to the 10-day detox protocol. And now there are multiple gurus online that talk about different ways to detox. For me, it's just a quick 10-day detox protocol that I can use so I can quickly move on to the 720 protocol, which we'll get to after this point. So for the dopamine detox, it's going to be categorized into 4 categories. The first one is to limit or cancel out any or all social media screen time. This should be an absolute non-negotiable when you're trying to level up as a man or you're trying to build a business. Guys, you clicked onto this video because you know that you're struggling with focus. Cut it out. just delete the apps from your social media. If you really need to use it for inspiration or for work, 1 to 2 hours is more than enough time for you to get what you need from social media and not scroll too much. The entire purpose of this dopamine detox is for you to pull away from social media and kind of reset your attention span, because you're only going to be doing it for 10 days. Just commit to these 10 days. Now, number 2, I know I'm going to be upsetting a lot of people watching this, but it is cutting out the coffee and cutting out any caffeine drinks. So I know on one hand, caffeine has a lot of benefits when it comes to your mood, when it comes to you being stimulated, but on the other hand, it has a lot of downsides. And there's studies that show that people who consume too much coffee have a lot of issues when it comes to your skin, when it comes to your gut health. So take a step back from all of the caffeine. If you absolutely need to, you can use an alternative like matcha, which is easier on the tummy and doesn't have such bad downsides, but overall limit the caffeine. For me, this was a game changer because my routine used to be I'd wake up around 6 a.m. and my wife would give me a cup of coffee, and then I'll sit at the desk behind me and I'll do deep work from 7 a.m. all the way until 9 a.m. And then when 9 a.m. hits, I'll go to the gym for a training session to lift, and I'll put a full scoop of pre-workout, which has maybe 250 milligrams of caffeine. So I was completely nuking my systems. Now the thing is I would come home feeling amazing on the first day and the second day, but maybe not the third day, because I was so buzzed with caffeine that I couldn't really fall asleep at night. So I was sacrificing my sleep quality, and then the next following day, I'll be a little bit sleep deprived, and it'll just compound as time goes on, and I'll eventually get to a point where I just feel so sluggish and tired, and no amount of caffeine will do me any good. So chances are, if you love coffee, you're probably in this state as well. So take a step away from coffee for the next 10 days. Now, number 3 is a bit controversial as well. I advise you to not hate on it or to not shut it down unless you've tried it, and that is meditating 10 minutes a day. Everyone who's operating at a level that you're trying to get to, most likely than not, they meditate. Even I myself now meditate, and I'll tell you the reason why. Having 10 minutes daily of meditation where you're simply just training your mind to focus on one thing, that's all it is. That's all meditation is at the end of the day. You're just sitting down and you're focusing on one thing and one thing only. Now, a lot of you guys watching might be, Yusuf, why don't you use Salah as a form of meditation? Well, if you're watching this video, then you're probably not focusing on your Salah. You probably can't focus on anything that you're saying in Salah. The whole idea behind meditation over here is for you to build an environment in your brain and in your life so that when you enter Salah, you're in an already premeditated state. So there are many apps and resources that you can find online for free or even paid ones. For me personally, I use an app called Open, and that app is absolutely phenomenal. They have amazing value inside of that. It is paid. I believe it's $20 a month, but there's a lot of alternatives online. Now, the 4th pillar for the detox protocol is going to be sleeping before 11 p.m. And I don't care if you're a university student or if you're working a 9-to-5 corporate job or you're a 7-figure entrepreneur, there is no excuse for you to not sleep before 11 p.m. Listen, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created the night as the time where us human beings go to sleep to rest, recover, replenish, so that we can wake up in the morning and go about our business. There is so much barakah in falling asleep after your Isha Salah. So I highly recommend, no matter where you guys live in the world, if you have assignments that need to get done or projects that you're working on, I guarantee you, if you want barakah inside of that work, there's going to be more barakah in the morning after Fajr than late at night and you potentially missing your Fajr Salah, right? So close the screens an hour to 2 hours before bed. You know, drink some sleepy tea if you want. I usually drink ginger tea, which helps with like immune systems and like flushing out your lymphatic drainage. Do different things to help you fall asleep quicker around that 11 p.m. window. So that way you can get a full 8 hours of sleep and even potentially wake up for Tahajjud Salah. Okay, so now lastly, we have the protocol 720. Now, what is 720? If you've been following me on Instagram, then you probably know that I have this protocol that I use called 720. And what it entails is it's 7 disciplines that you follow for 20 minutes a day. It is done by individuals who want to increase their output and pretty much don't want to burn themselves out during the entire process, right? Because when you're increasing output, there's a high likely chance of you burning out. And the 720 protocol is perfect over here for understanding where that sweet spot is to maximize the results that you're getting in your life without burning out. Now, I've done a video in the past breaking down the entire process of what it looks like to follow the 720 protocol. That's going to be linked down below. I myself find this very helpful because my life gets pretty stressful with where it's at right now. Juggling at this time of recording content creation to businesses, family, and just other things that require my attention. The 720 is a great tool that teaches you not only discipline, but true inner peace and that self-regulation that all of us are looking for. So yeah, there you have it. Always remember that I'm praying for you as a brother, and I hope that you are doing well.